Hey, I am back with another video. You guys know what to do. Like the video below. Subscribe to the channel if you like what you hear or what you see, whichever, both. I don't know. And comment below on whatever. So today I'm going to be talking about, or in this video, I'm going to be talking about some rumors and some other news relating to deals that have come out in the last day. And so first, the San Diego Padres are considering Bumgarner or Madison Bumgarner and Dallas Keuchel. So, Bumgarner and Keuchel are, without a doubt, the two best pitchers remaining on the market. We talked about Bumgarner before. He's been in a bunch of rumors recently. Keuchel really hasn't. Keuchel's interesting because, in 2017, he had that ridiculous year. And, 2.9 ERA. And in 2018, he sort of regressed and was more in line with his peripherals, I want to say. And then he, prior to this season, the 2019 season, he had declined the qualifying offer that the Astros had offered to him, which basically attached draft pick compensation to him, and whichever team signed him would have had to give up a draft pick for him. And that sort of diminished his value, I want to say. And he was holding steadfast on what contract he wanted. And, the same thing happened with Craig Kimbrell. And so the way it works is that the draft pick compensation ends once the draft happens. So the draft was, I believe, it's always like the first Tuesday of June, I think. So I think it may have been June 4th this year. I don't know. But so once the draft happens, those players lose draft pick compensation. So instead of signing for less than they feel they were worth, Keuchel and Kimbrell waited until the draft to sign. And Keuchel ended up signing a one-year deal, and because of the new qualifying offer system, in the last CBA, teams are no longer to make multiple qualifying offers to players. So once a qualifying offer is offered to a player, they are no longer able to have a qualifying offer attached to them. So Keuchel, I believe Kimbrel also, but Keuchel signed a 1-year deal. So here we are. He's back on the free agent market. Because he signed in June, he didn't pitch a full season. He only started 19 games. He had a similar season to 2018 performance-wise. And, we'll see. I don't know. He's going to be 32 this season. But for a team like the Padres could use pitching. They need a starter, a top-of-the-line starter. They have a bunch of young guys coming up, but it's nice to have a veteran, sort of there to mentor these young pitchers. So guys like Luis Patino, Miguel Baez, guys like that, they have guys like Chris Paddock, and they just traded Eric Lauer, but now they have Zach Davies, who's kind of like that veteran. But it would be nice to have a really good foundation for which, I would think their priority would be Bumgarner, but we'll see. So the next thing is that we have an update on Donaldson rumors, the Josh Donaldson rumors. I believe I had mentioned that the Nationals were pursuing Donaldson, but now it has come out that Donaldson is looking for a 4-year deal. Now, Donaldson is a little older. He is, let me pull it up. He is 34. He just turned 34 a couple of days ago. So, a 4-year deal for, just looking at what he did with the Braves this season, he's still very good. He's still very productive. But in 2018, he was injured for part of the year, and his numbers weren't very good. So, or they were still good, but they weren't what they were. So, a 4-year deal for him would be risky. But, if you're a team like the Nationals, you're trying to go to the World Series again and win. And, they had to make a choice in whether to sign Strasburg or Rendon. And they chose Strasburg, which was probably the right deal, given that pitching is so hard to come by, and we see how important the dominant pitching staff is in the playoffs. Having 3 or 4 stud pitchers, you have a big leg up on the competition. And so, if the money's right, sure, I'd give him a 4-year deal. And in that lineup, I'm sure he'll still produce very well. But the question would be for how long? And their window's not really closing. So, I think for the length of the contract, he'll he'll probably start to decline just because he's in his mid-30s, and players start to decline. Hopefully it's not a rapid decline and he could produce for them. But I think it's probably a good deal. It's good that he's realistic and doesn't want a 7-year deal, or so I think it would be a good signing for them. Next up, we have the Brewers are interested in Avisail Garcia. So this is, he's a good player. I like him. He's a very good complementary player. He's not a star by any means, but he's a very nice piece to have, like a final piece, I'd say. Like one of the pieces you add when you need an upgrade somewhere, but already have a solid foundation. The Brewers have Lorenzo Cain in center field. They have Christian Yelich in right field. They just traded for Luis Urias, who on their depth charts is slated for third base. I don't know, maybe, they have Keston Hiura at second base. Orlando Garcia is their shortstop, but I don't think he'd be blocking Urias if they decide to get a third baseman. First base is Ryan Braun. He's not really what he was. Their pitching staff is decent. They're not going to blow anyone away with their pitching staff, but if they could score enough runs, they could hold their own. And they have the best closer or arguably the best closer in the game in Josh Hader. And I think Avisail Garcia would be a nice complementary piece to take over for Ben Gamel in left field, because Ben Gamel's not, he should be at most like a fourth or fifth outfielder. And so, I like the deal. I like the potential deal that getting him I mean, he could fit on so many teams that could use an outfielder at one of the corner spots. And we'll see. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I don't know, but they acquired Jacob Faria already this offseason, who could potentially slot into their rotation if he's healthy. They have Brandon Woodruff, who is becoming a really good pitcher for them. They just traded for Eric Lauer. Maybe he'll be able to do something. Corbin Burns is another good pitcher for them. So they have a really solid foundation. And I think Garcia could be that final piece for them. And the NL Central's not going to blow you away. The Cardinals are probably in front in that division right now. They still have Goldschmidt. They have Jack Flaherty rounding out their headlining their rotation. They re-signed Wainwright. They have a good team. So, but I think right now it's the Brewers and the Cardinals. I don't think the Cubs are going to do much. And they have good players, but their pitching situation's kind of gone downhill. So I think right now this would be a good move for the Brewers. Solidify their spot contending in the NL Central, and if their pitchers take a step forward, some of their young pitchers, that they could contend with the Nationals and Dodgers. So we'll see. Last, it came out that the Texas Rangers were in on Rendon and offered him, their final offer to him was 6 years, $192 million. So about $32 million a season. So they were offering him $3 million a year less, and they offered him one less year. So they weren't really in contention for him, because I'd imagine a bunch of teams were willing to go those 7 years, that extra year, because he's not even 30 yet. I don't know why they would have knocked on that extra year, because then maybe because he went to the Angels. Like, that's the other thing, is the Angels are division rivals, but I don't know even. The Rangers aren't, for the Angels, he puts them in contention. He's the piece that could really solidify their offense. And the Rangers don't really have anything going for them. They have some things going for them, but they're not gonna Rendon's not gonna vault them into the playoffs all of a sudden. Baseball doesn't work like that. And the Rangers have a lot of holes. So I could see like maybe for them it was like, well, we have a chance to get one of the best third basemen in baseball. Let's go do it, and we'll have him for 6 years, and we'll focus on building a team around him. I, I mean, I guess maybe that was their thinking, but who knows? But yeah, so that's it. Um, yeah. So, like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment below on what you think, and check out the website, theunusefulidiots.com, for all information about the podcast and just anything else. And the social media is on there. All the links and stuff are on there. So go check it out. And till next time, I'll see you then. Bye.